Assalamu alaikum everybody. Welcome to Online Academy with Aisha Fiaz. In this video, we are going to be looking at paper 2, question number 1, that is your directed writing question. And we will be working with speeches. Here is a question that I have put before I added the texts so that you would have a better idea of how to approach the question. And this is what I would suggest that you do in the paper as well. You read the question first before you start reading both the specimens that have been given to you. Imagine you are a pupil in a school which does not have a school council. Write a speech to be given in a school assembly, giving your views on whether or not students should participate in decisions made about the school. Begin your speech. Thank you for coming to listen to me today. Write about 250 to 350 words and use the space given to note down relevant points from the text. In your speech, you should evaluate the views given in both texts about student participation. Give your own views based on what you have read about whether a school council would benefit students and teachers. Base your speech on what you have read in both texts, but be careful to use your own words. Address both of the bullet points. Now this is a 25-mark question and you will be awarded 10 marks for reading and 15 marks for your writing. Now here's the first text. I would suggest that you pause the video and you read it thoroughly, okay, keeping in mind what is expected from you. And as you underline it, I would like you to make short points on what you're going to write, as in the evaluation part. Before you begin writing, you need to keep certain things in mind. The first thing you have to do is plan. Without planning, you are going to end up repeating ideas and you might even miss points that you should have written. Then start with good morning everyone, unless something else has been asked. Introduce yourself in the first paragraph along with your topic or thesis statement, and then begin structuring your points carefully. You need to have around 5 to 7 paragraphs. You may have more if you like. Use simple language. Do not copy the statements. Again, I repeat, do not copy any statement. Share your views as you have been asked in the question and support your points with clear arguments. You may talk about the different points of views. You may talk about expert opinions. You may talk about research. You may also share personal anecdotes, okay, and then conclude your speech by thanking everybody. What I've done here is that I have picked up the relevant ideas from both the texts, and when you are asked to pick ideas, the examiner is expecting you to pick anywhere between 12 to 15 ideas. You will notice that these are almost more than that. And what I'll be doing is that I'll be merging some of them. You will also notice that some of the ideas have been repeated, or some of the longer ideas have been broken down. Now this will help me write better because I need to include a variety of sentences. Alright, I'm not going to read it here, but I want you to pause the video again and I want you to read it carefully. Now again, this is the second part of my planning. There was another point that asked you for your opinion or your views on whether student councils should be made or should not be made. So these are the things that I think should be added. Alright, now I'm just planning here. Planning takes anywhere between 3 to 5 minutes. You take your time and then you start writing. Now this is my take on the same speech, and if you observe, I have started with good morning everyone, and I have used the statement that was mentioned in the question. Thank you for coming to listen to me today. Then I told you that you need to introduce yourself and your topic. Okay, so I'm Aisha Fiaz, as many of you know, and I'm thankful for the chance to talk about whether or not student councils should remain a part of our educational experience. A week from now, elections will take place for the first time in our school, and before we begin, I think it is important to raise the question of whether student council is really necessary or just a huge waste of time. Do you notice that I'm thanking the audience and I'm engaging them with me? A week from now, we will be, engaged in it and something like that. Now, this is simply there because when you're giving a speech to an audience, okay, you need to engage your audience with you. Otherwise, it'll just seem like you've just said something and left and nobody was a part of it. Now, many schools produce a student body every year that many school heads have labeled as fashionable or even false. Along with the elected students and several parents, teachers who have grown weary of their meddling have also expressed support for the concept. Not unexpected, is it? It has been apparent from the way teachers share how they often get irritated when council members hand in their assignments at a later date because they were busy in meetings or some other council activities. My own cousin, who was elected last year, shared her experience on how resentful she felt when she got scolded despite working tirelessly for the school. So again, you notice how I've added a personal anecdote. This was from text A. I've just added her as if she was my cousin, and I've said the same thing. So what you're doing is you're just picking up ideas. The rationale for not having a student council is pertinent. Parents bemoan the fact that schools squander their tax dollars to enroll their kids in pointless extracurricular activities that have no bearing on their academic performance, while students who work really hard to win office have expressed worry that no one in the administration took their efforts seriously. Again, this is from other schools. I'm not talking about our school, okay? That wasn't the question, that we've not had it before, and I'm just talking about it in a general way. I'm just evaluating. One headmaster cited that a student told him the older representatives on the school council should be consulted on teacher appointments, and I can understand why this would infuriate even the most seasoned administrators. I mean, asking someone if they made the proper decision or choice is likely to bother someone who has worked long hours to reach a high position. However, research has shown that schools that involve students in decision-making processes reap significant benefits. It all comes down to laying out expectations and clearly defining goals. Problems relating to time and effort waste can really be solved if there is a clear distinction between decisions that can and should be made and decisions that belong only to the administration. Both students and teachers must put in a lot of effort and dedication to keep up a student council. Ultimately, it goes beyond academics. Young people are intelligent and can provide fresh insights on choices that directly impact them. According to published research, pupils who are given responsibility have higher self-esteem, better communication, and negotiation abilities. Based on my prior experiences, I firmly think that student councils ought to exist. All work and no play, after all, makes Jack a boring boy. Do we really want to be boring? We can overcome any reservations in the future if the school management issues a proper SOP for both instructors and students. Parents who object to these practices could either advise their child to not participate in such activities, or they should receive better education from the school. Finally, I'll just say best of luck to any candidate hoping to be accepted into the council. Again, I'm grateful that you lent me your ears. I hope you have a pleasant day. And that is all. Please observe that none of my ideas were copied. Make sure that you proofread to refine your drafts further. Use a variety of sentences in simple language. I added some of my own observations. And I did not mention text A or text B specific. Now it is your turn. I would like you to read the question, read the text, make your own points, and then refer back to the video so that you have all the points required, and then try writing by yourselves. Thank you for watching.